The problem of Nigeria is not gun and bullet. It's spiritual. It's spiritual. You can't fight an ideology with gun and bullet. Let me explain this. Sit down before we pray. I'm worried. Some people want to fight an ideology. How do you fight an ideology? An ideology is like a spirit. You can't fight an ideology. You can't use gun and bullet to stop an ideology. The way to deal with an ideology, you engage it with wisdom. The only bullet that can kill an ideology is the bullet of knowledge. Wisdom. Wisdom. The only way to deal with the ideology is to go back to the founder of the ideology and reprogram the ideology and stand at the central processing unit of the ideology and make sure it is rightfully corrected. If you remove the leader, have you removed the ideology? There are more crazy Nnamdi Kanu that will come up after Nnamdi. They are just hiding under him. The only way to kill this is not by gun and bullet. It's by engaging with proper dialogue, with knowledge and wisdom. This cry we are hearing here is not a cry of children, it's a cry of adults. The only way, I am not an advocate that Nigeria should separate, God forbid. No. But I'm saying the best way to handle this, listen to the cry of the children. Sit down. Everything is not gun and bullet. When you take the leader away, okay, take the leader away. The next, how many people are on the street? Do you know how many spirit of Biafra have entered people? Do you know how many? Do you know how many millions are carrying the spirit of Biafra around? So if you kill the leader or you take the leader away, can you take the spirit from everybody? Ojukwu is not here, but Biafra is alive. It's an ideology. The man who started it has left. Before he left, he kept quiet and lived peacefully and left. But the generation that have come have picked it up. And it's even worse than his own now. And they are engaging it with an idea, with knowledge. So the best way to deal with this is not gun and bullet. It's not gun and bullet. When the revolution want to start, the revolutionists, the first thing they will do, they will pass the idea and impregnate their followers. The only way to stop it is to stop them before they impregnate the followers. But if the followers are impregnated, that's all. All of them are carrying pregnancy. They will soon deliver to other children. If you have 2 million Biafra, you already have 4 million Biafra. Because they are selling the ideology. And now, I don't have a problem. But my own concern is that you don't take woman's life. The best way to do that, you engage them in the ideology. If you feel the ideology is not correct, you dialogue. You sit down with them. If dignifying them will make them feel important, then do that. We can't be killing people and we are getting excited. No. Boko Haram is a terrorist group. Have you stopped them from killing? Are they not still killing? They're still killing. Did it start as a peaceful group? Yes. Were the ideology crazy? Yes. How do you engage it? Engage the leaders. And you see, some of these things are very spiritual. They are very spiritual. Very spiritual. See, something that can die within 15 days, it can stay there for 15 years. Because the way leaders are handling it. The issue of Biafra is so simple. You are agitating? Is this what you want? Then conform. Okay, let's do a referendum. Let's see how popular this your thing is. Or restructure Nigeria. That's all. Sit down with these boys. Make them feel important. How did the unrest in Niger Delta died? Yaradua did dialogue. That's the best way. This thing, everything gone. Bullet, everything, fight. Aggression, it will take us nowhere. The world is too civilized. Look at America. Look at the way they abuse Trump and they say everything. The guy with those bands and tweet again. He tweets and continue his life. That is what we call civilization. That is what we call. You can abuse me to hell, say whatever you want to say. It doesn't stop it. I am the president and I am the commander in charge of wherever you are. You abuse, but I'm still your president. These things are just simple maturity. To fill a political office is not maturity. It's an appointment. I'm worried. I started talking about Biafra before this happened. And I'll say, let's kill this thing. Dialogue. Dialogue. Even we as fathers, our children will just do some things and we see it very stupid. But we have to give them audience. I just hear them and let them talk. And when they talk, what do? We judge and advise them. It's sitting down at the table and talking, even to take us to discuss for 1 month. For life not to be lost is what important than losing lives. If we have to engage Nnamdi Kanu and all the Biafra discussing, young man, what do you want? Let's do night vigil in discussing than losing millions of souls. Discussion, dialogue will never kill anybody, but bullets will kill.
Terrorism Prohibition and Prevention Act says I cannot be tried in Nigeria. That's the law of Nigeria. I can never be tried in any court of law in Nigeria. That's what the law says. Anybody standing in trial or coming to try me is a terrorist. That's what their law says. Not me. As simple as that. Section 2, subsection 3F of Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. That's what it says. Any court considered to try me is committed an act of terrorism. Yes. Very clear. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then come to try that very person. Is not done anywhere in the world. So you must be aware of that. So that is why there is all these ridiculous delays. That is what Supreme Court said. I did not jump bail. My home was invaded. They came to kill me and I survived. They came to Kenya to kidnap me, brought me back to this country and seeking to try me, which the law says cannot happen. You cannot violate a treaty that Nigeria entered into and then hope to stand on that illegality to conduct a trial. Is not done anywhere in the world. I have it in my case. Nobody has, there's no exception. No exception whatsoever. That's what the law says. Section 12 of the Constitution, what does it say? Any treaty ratified by Nigeria becomes law. It's law. You cannot change it. It doesn't matter what they do. All these shenanigans is just pure rubbish. You never stand. Not with me. I believe in justice and fairness. That's all.
So beloved, you're welcome back. I believe you heard what Prophet Joshua Iginla has to say and what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has to say. This video is a lot, but before I kickstart it, please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel and you're coming across my video for the very first time, do it to subscribe, comment, like, share, and also give this video a thumbs up for me. Please do it to be part of this lovely family. I bet you don't want to miss out on any of my content. And if you're a returning subscriber, I want to use this opportunity to say a very big thank you. Thank you for always tuning in and thank you for always watching my video. God bless you as you do that. So let's get into the topic of the day. First of all, the man of God actually advised Nigerian government to actually dialogue with the IGBOS. And I believe this is not the first time I'm bringing such a video your way if you are one of those people that have been following me for a very long time. And I believe that prophecies have been dropping back to back concerning of how the Nigerian government is not fair to the Igbo man and they need to actually retrace their stuff because a lot of things are actually going on. I feel like some community in the east, couple of police stations were burnt down, cars and a lot, and to the point that they say they're unalive a police officer. So this thing were making waves on social media as back as 2021 when some group of individuals in the east are saying that we are not going to let any son or daughter of the soil be part of any military group in Nigeria, whether civil servant, anything. So far you're working for Nigeria government, they don't want it, and that actually raised a lot of eyebrows, which a lot of people were unalive. I remember a lady, she's from the east, she was unalive with her fiance when they were in Nigerian military uniform, and they were coming for their traditional marriage, which they were unalive because they are daughters and sons of the soil. Why would they be serving Nigeria, which is their sworn enemy? But a lot of Igbos will tell you that they are not sworn enemies with the Nigerian and distant armies and a whole lot of things. They'll say they just want peace, but they want out. And why others are saying that whatever will be, let it be. As you all know, it's not longer a news. If you're a child, if you were born yesterday, I'm sure that's one way or the other you have heard about the civil war that happened in Nigeria, which is seeking out from Nigeria because the Igbo man felt like Nigeria has not been fair to them and they want out. And I wouldn't see it as a crime or anything. If you believe in something, if you love something, is to die for it, is to fight with the last drop of your blood for it, if you really believe that that's worth fighting for. And there's something that these prophets, they have been saying, that Biafra, it's not just a movement that the government need to be like, we can pull them down, we can lock up as many of their leader as we want. It is a spirit. It cannot be killed. You can kill the flesh, but you don't have access to the spirit to actually do anything to the spirit. That is one thing the Nigerian federal government needs to look into. It's not all about shutting people up. It's not all about locking people up. It's not all about saying, I won't give to you. There's something that someone said in a video that, see, he says that freedom is being fought for, it's not given willingly, and they are willing to risk their life to fight for this freedom because they know that it's going to benefit their three unborn generations to come. I believe when the Civil War happened, we are one of those second generation after the Civil War. Yeah, I feel like my grandfather was alive by then, my dad wasn't born, I wasn't born, so we are the second generation. So these people are willing to say, okay, it doesn't matter. Like somebody like me, I can choose to say, okay, I want to fight for freedom for my people because I believe that my kids are going to benefit from it at the end of the day. I don't have kids, so just imagine that I say that, oh, this thing, it's worth fighting for, it's worth dying for. I don't care whether the lineage comes from me direct or from my siblings or my relative, but one thing I know is that I'm going to like create that part that life is going to be a bit easier for these people in respect of no man. That is what the Biafrans are doing. And a lot of people intend to say, this their Biafra of a thing is not coming. They keep on agitating for long. It is not happening. They keep on saying they are going to wage war against Nigeria. They have the requirement, the necessary things to go to war. They have it already in stock in the east. And see, I always say something in my video, it's that I am not a supporter of war because I've known what war has done to a lot of people. I've not experienced that kind of war in a way that it happens in Israel, Gaza, Russia, and some other countries. I've not really experienced that one. Those ones are intense. But see, I know what Fulani herdsmen have done. My mom lost her dad in one of those fights, and honestly it's so bad. So war is not something you pray for. You can't even find the person's corpse at the end of the day. You imagine the person that you're so fond of, the person that you feel like, oh, I'm coming to see you, and then at the end of the day you hear a couple of days later that this person is no more, and it didn't die by a natural cause or anything. It was picked and unalive just like that out of hatred. So war is not something you should be rooting for. War is not something you should be saying that, oh, it should happen. Those that are in the northern part, middle belt, and some eastern states and some other western states that are closer to the north a little bit, they will tell you that they have experienced this Fulani herdsmen, and it is not a story to tell. And for those that are in the north, honestly, I believe an emir was kidnapped and they asked for ransom, which the ransom was paid. A couple of days, Abi, hours later he was unalive. And then these people have the audacity to come on social media to show off the money they took from his people as ransom, and then you still unalive this person the way he was begging for his life. If you're one of those people that understand Hausa, I'm not talking about just all these Zosia, Nawa, Bansia, all those things. No, when I mean Hausa, and you could tell how this man was begging for his life, literally. But at the end of the day, he was taken away from the face of this earth by these wicked people. So these bandits, they are not something you pray to encounter, but those that have encountered it will tell you that war is not something you should pray for. War is not something you should say, let it happen for me to feel like, yes, I have the power to act. See, you can have power to beat somebody, but there are ways you go about it. You beat that person mercilessly, and then another person will come and beat you at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, that thing that you know that you're right over, you lose that privilege. And that is something that we don't want to happen in Nigeria anymore. I feel like Nigeria is too big for one particular person to handle. The affairs of Nigeria is too big for one particular person to actually take care of or see to it. So if a lot of things are going to go into regional government, I feel like it will help us a lot. Let Nigeria be divided into 7 categories so that everybody can manage his or her affairs, but they report to the Oga Kpatakpata at the end of the day. And from there we can see that if there are a lot of dialogue that need to be put in place that can benefit each and everyone, like the eastern part and the southeast will be in charge of their resources and whatever comes out of there. The north, the middle belt, and then the west, the south, east, and so many more. Like there are ways you can. Nigeria is too large. A particular state can even be divided into 3 categories. So you see, that is how big Nigeria is. So we can merge to wherever we need to merge others to, and make sure that there is peace at the end of the day. So war is not something we should. And the Nigerian government need to actually sit down with people and actually dialogue, like the man of God actually said in this video. And the number one thing they need to do is to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Stop giving that excuse that you wanted to free him, and then some of the Igbo people ask you to lock him up because of their selfish interests and all that. One thing you need to know is that politics is a dirty game, and they are ready to smoke each other out just to make themselves look good or feel good at the end of the day. That is what we need to have in our head and say that, see, this is how politics is being played and this is how things unfold at the end of the day. It's not the way it seems that it seems to. There are some people that you may think they are rivals, they are enemies. At the end of the day, you see them whining and dining when it comes to the inner chamber. So I wouldn't want all of us to just start doing things or start saying things when we don't really know details of things entirely. So please, all I will urge each and every one of us to do for me is to pray for our nation, Nigeria. Because I keep on telling people that I don't have anywhere, I don't have an auntie or an uncle somewhere that I can say, okay, fine, make way for me, borrow me money to work papers and go overseas. At the end of the day, when I get there, I will work and pay you. By the grace of God, I'm alive, healthy, and strong, and I'm capable of tasks that needed to be met at the end of the day to pay you back those funds. I don't have anybody like that, and I don't think I will see anybody that want to actually sponsor me. But the only place I could call home, it's being destroyed by Fulani herdsmen at the end of the day. My people are living in the city when they are not used to such life, but we are still managing. We are still kicking. So far, it's my state. I believe that, see, I can call anywhere home, but there's still no place like home at the end of the day. You can call a place your home, but you know, see, there are things that I say I will trade all the city life to go back to my childhood in Iginla. You know, see, it was the best days of my life. I don't think I can fly all the private jet at the end of the day. If God permits and bless me in the future, I can travel around the world. But there is no memory, there is no fun that will be compared to the one that I had during my childhood in Iginla. So I can't trade that for anything. You understand? So I can give up all the words of this word to go back, to rewind time back to that place. But that place, there is nothing to write home about. Grasses are growing in the room that we once played, under the trees that we once played, 10 and all those things. That is how bad and dangerous war can be. So let's not pray for war. You may have the power to beat your opponent, but that does not mean that you are going to get that thing that you are actually asking or desiring for at the end of the day. So please, when I say pray, I mean it with all sincerity. When I say it won't cost you anything to just say, God, protect my land and my people. Provide daily bread for us. See, it won't take less than a minute of your time each day. Don't say that, oh, the prayers you have made over Nigeria, the things you have done, it fell on deaf ear, or it fell into a rock that is deaf. No, God is answering. If not for anything, we're still alive. Oh. If not for anything, Nigeria has not caught fire. Yes, other parts are catching fire, but not in a way that it will be unbearable. Just imagine that you're a refugee in a camp somewhere in another country. Just the thought of it alone, just think about it. Do you know what it's going to do to you? So that is just what I feel like, let me come here and tell us. In as much as we are praying for something to also happen, let's also trade with caution and also pray for peace, because that is the solely foundation. If you have peace, you can conquer the world. Peace and patience, you can conquer the world at the same time. So please, let's do it to pray for Nigeria. Let's not give up hope. Let's not just give up because we feel like we don't belong or we don't fit in at the end of the day. So please put Nigeria in prayer. That is just one thing that I want to share with you guys this morning. And before I go, please, if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, oh my goodness, like I said earlier on, what are you waiting for? You've watched this video to this point. All you can do for me is just subscribe, comment, like, share, and also don't forget to turn on the post notification to get notified, so that whenever I drop a new video, you'll be the first to be notified easily. And also do me a favor by leaving your opinion, your thoughts at the comment section below, and I will definitely see you in the next one shortly. Bye for now, guys, and please do wait to share this video.